Yo, Parley here. Let me show you a trick. I level 83. We have 84. I don't think we have enough 84. So we start picking up level 83. And we go sell them to Lily or to any vendor. Boom. And now wah, wah, wah. Nothing crazy. It's garbage actually. Let me keep for a recombinator later. Let's put the rest. Just some mixed. Keep in mind the good modifiers are level 83 and above. So adjust your filter in filter blade. Boom. Anything good? Just global defenses. Not crazy. Still 5 divine. Easy money. Should we recombinate? No. We just sell as it is for 5 divine. 5 divines, easy way to go. Of course, someone will buy this. I've sold one yesterday for 50 divines. That's where I got all my currency to buy Detonate Dead of Scavenging and a lot of other stuff. So, about the build now. Let's start with the most important mechanic in the game, the Cast-When-Stunned mechanic. Cast-When-Stunned support means that when an enemy stuns you, you activate a spell linked to that gem. For example, I'm activating Detonate Dead, Desecrate, Flame Surge, and Cremation of the Volcano, along with Spell Cascade for more AoE. This ring makes it that stun threshold is based on energy shield instead of life, and because we have 0 energy shield due to the agnostic, maximum energy shield is 0. So it means we have no stun threshold. So every hit is a stunning hit. And because of that, we can trigger these spells when an enemy hits us every time. Well, 90% of the time, because it has a 90% chance to trigger at 2120. The tree is actually 0 budget almost. I'm not using any fancy jewels, nothing. You need about level 80 to swap to this build. At the end of the video, I will show you a good way to level from Act 8 until level 80. Easy. We get all the masteries. It's pretty generic. Actually every RF chieftain almost uses that one. I'm only taking these nodes because I need some dexterity and intelligence, and it was the closest one I could get. About our defenses. We don't have crazy armor. We are with a flask, we are capped. And because we have gain 3 charges when you are hit by an enemy, it is always active because we are focusing on hard content. And I have Achiri's Promise on my Amethyst Flask, we cap our Chaos Res, easy money, immunity to shock because Fulcrum reflects our shocks back to us, and we don't want to get shocked that much. You can also take Avatar of Fire, which makes it that all of your physical cold and lightning is converted to fire damage, and you deal no non-fire. But what I choose to do, let me show you. I use this ring. For mapping, when they chill you, you get movement speed, and you get increased movement speed while ignited. If you have some proliferation, for example, I have some on my gloves and some on my jewel, fan the flames. You got to have fan the flames. You can have only in your gloves or only fan the flames, but this adds to itself. For example, if it's 1.2 and 1.5, it's 2.7 total. It adds to itself, and it also scales with area of effect. We cannot afford too much area of effect, so what I'm gonna do is put some area of effect in my helmet and my gloves. Also, I'm taking 15 chance to ignite. You need 100% chance to ignite. See here, chance to ignite from main hand hits 100%, and that's why I got this blowback. Easy. If I take this off, I get 90%. We got some here. We got some here. We got some on our helmet, and we need to reach 100% chance to ignite, because Hinekora gives you 5% when enemies die to explode, dealing 500% of their maximum health as fire. Imagine you hit that 5% chance, and then you don't ignite the next enemy, and you don't get a big ignite on yourself, and you die. You don't die, but you get the point. And it's important to have 100% chance for harder content. You always want to ignite, because if you get unlucky and this doesn't make the ignite, you're cooked. I take this ring when I'm mapping to run faster. As you can see, I can zoom in and also have phasing, and on automation we have phase run to zoom inside the enemies and explode them. Easy clearing content. Defiance of Destiny, of course, with Vampirism, Anointed. It's a cheap anoint, but the recoup is nice. We also take some recoup here. We have Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted on you on a jewel, and +2 maximum fire resistance. Oh, I needed +1, but I take +2. Another important thing, you can get a synthesized belt with the implicit modifier that says bleeding cannot be inflicted on you. It saves us a lot. For example, now I have Immortal Call. Before I had Steel Skin, because Steel Skin removes the bleeding. But still, it wasn't consistent. This you have all the time. All the time, you're immune to bleeding. And that is very good, because dots are really bad for you. Also in the ring, cannot be poisoned. Maybe you want to get an implicit in another jewel, which says you cannot be maimed or you cannot be hindered or something like that. Doesn't matter too much. We take this protection mastery. Cannot be impaled because it's crazy bad. Some tier 16.5 maps have it, have impale modifiers, and it's really bad. Of course, some fire nodes. I got some intelligence here. Some actually can save 1 point. Ooh, I just realized. So, what? Oh no. Are you for real now, man? One more intelligence? You can get rid of all of this, the requirements, by buying, like I told you, already sold 5 divines, easy money. You can bypass all the requirements by getting an elegant hubris. Caspiro makes it that you don't need any requirements. You negate all the requirements, but you don't get the bonuses from attributes. We have 150 life from strength. It's not much, but with increased modifiers, it is much. As you can see, we have almost 3.5. It's a little bit because we have petrified blood. 3,400 actually. It's a good pool. With petrified blood, we don't get immediate damage. It's happening as a dot. And because we have regeneration and we have recoup and we have also Defiance of Destiny, we recover health and kill, and also, of course, the most popular Immutable Force and Blood Notch interaction. We get all of our life back before it gets to burn us. So, we are pretty much immortal. That's it for the build. For the Mercenary, I'm not running any. Maybe I could make one of these with Kingmaker for simulacrums, but I don't know. Also, a good jewel is this natural affinity. You can have up to 10% less damage taken, which is insane. And another important is enduring composure. It's really nice to have enduring composure because every time you get hit, it resets the timer, and you are getting hit all the time. So you get one endurance charge per second, and you also have endurance charges forever. We also need to take this node, endurance, and we need, like, I want to swap actually this jewel. I don't like it because it says ignited enemies you kill are destroyed. I don't like this because I have detonate dead. I want the corpses to be on the ground. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5 levels. I need to be like level 99 to be able to equip all these. And this, I don't know. We will see how it goes. I will link my PoE Ninja down below. I don't link POBs. I'm not gonna take the time to import this to POB. I will link you the PoE Ninja. You can keep track of the build, how am I going with it, and of course, if you want, you can import it yourself in POB. Actually, I found a way to save a point. This node is OP, gives us a lot. We lose like 100 health, I don't even care. 100 health from 6% increased maximum life and the strength node. But I prefer +1 maximum endurance charge. Maybe because we have so many endurance charges, we need to get this because he is Earthshaker and he has Endure and it gives us endurance charges, and he also have determination. Easy money. We need to swap up the build a little bit because this is for change of command, you know. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna show you now my leveling build. If you want, you can run it until, if you are league starting, if you are making a new character to level up fast. I am using Facebreaker and General Scry with Volcanic Fissure. We can also use Thunder of Trauthus. It's your choice what you want to use. They are pretty much the same damage. This has a little bit more better clear. But Thunder of Trauthus is also very good. For example, I was leveling a chieftain and I was like, how can I make my leveling easy? At first, I linked Desecrate with Cyclone because I couldn't equip those boots. You can equip the boots and the Dancing Dervish about the second time you reach Sarn, which is, I think, what is it? Act 8. About Act 8, you can equip those. Until then, you don't have to. You can use 7 League Step, the boots, easy. But Facebreaker is low level requirement, so you won't have any problem. All those are low level requirement. You can maybe use Rigwolds or I personally used the Warden's Brand, which gives you very nice physical damage. Do not take any Warcry or cooldown nodes, because if you do, with Facebreaker and no attack speed, the General Scry minions, the Mirage, won't be able to attack before it disappears and another one appears. So you don't have to worry about it. I'm using Volcanic Fissure, General Scry, Auto Exertion, do it automatically, Added Fire, Melee Physical, and Pulverize for the more area damage. For the rings, for the attribute, I used Le Hoop of All, and this I just equipped. This is about to swap to a Cast-When-Stunned, so no problem. For our amulet, I'm using Carnage Heart for the attributes, of course, and some extra gore, which is completely pointless, but it's fun to have. Those I have just damage supports, but you won't need this until later. Gold Rim, of course, for some elemental resistances, and Tabula Rasa just for the links. Facebreaker, you don't have to do 750, you can go 600, or even the minimum is too much, if you want my opinion. Flasks, those flasks are just for until I fix my resistances. I use for now. I do not level with these flasks. If you want, you can use just movement flask, nothing else. So what happens is, when you walk around with Dancing Dervish, nothing happens. When your mercenary kills something, or you kill something, I have Smite with Generosity right now, to give him some extra damage. I use, of course, Kineticist with a 1, with lightning damage, nothing crazy. Coiling Whisper, Anathema, to use as an gentle touch, and maybe an extra Curse hit later. For his belt, I'm using Darkness Enthroned with 2 Abyss Jewels. One has added damage and phasing on kill, and the other one has also damage and an effect on kill. Just movement speed, pretty useless. I'm using Legacy of Fury for better clear, of course. Can clear everything very fast. Victorious Charity, so we all get charges. And for the nearby enemies are blinded, I use the Ingomon, whatever. You can use any amulet, no problem. 1000 Ribbons is a low level body armor, which you can use to level up, and it has nice resistances and added damage to spells and attacks. Of course, Thrill Steel for Onslaught. My Mercenary doesn't have multiple projectiles or something, but it has chain and some added cold damage, and it can also pierce. Nothing crazy, but still pretty good, and has haste. It's a high level Mercenary. I didn't use this one to level up. I used the Fallen Reverend. I didn't know about this one. I just saw a Zizaran video which is talking about this Mercenary, and I thought, why not? And now I realize why people go Aurabot with the Kineticist. It's crazy OP, especially with Amethyst Ring, with his Amethyst Ring. When he gets Soul Leader, he attacks like crazy. It's insane. And Onslaught always also insane. Let me show you what this actually looks like. Whatever, this doesn't matter so much as long as they don't have any reflects. Also, I'm using this tree. You can screenshot it just temporarily to get some extra mobs and stuff to level up fast, because this gives too much XP. For example, where is it? Abyssal Army. 50% increased experience, and they spawn more monsters. And with all the Abyss nodes, those monsters may be magic, etc., etc. So now I'm just walking around. My generals use Volcanic Fissure, the Mirages. My Merc kills everything. Dancing Dervish gives me Rampage. I smite to give my Mercenary extra damage. Insane. My next build will probably be Mercenary Aurabot. This is insane. I'm not doing anything, by the way. The only thing I'm doing, I'm smiting to give my guys extra lightning damage. Of course, it cannot kill crazy tanky enemies. I'm in Delirium and it was a bridge boss. I don't have mirror tier equipment. I have cheap items on me and on my Mercenary. Cheap unique items, nothing more. Also, I spec into the Kalgur nodes to have some extra mobs like this. Whoa. Look at this guy. He's huge. Lol, he's frozen. White mobs, he destroys, no problem. Small problem on possessed yellow mobs. I forgot I have to move around to generate corpses for my general's cry. That's the build, just for leveling. Nothing crazy. I figured I could mess around a bit in the acts with the new mercenaries, see if I can find the new tech. This is fun, since also Facebreaker is buffed. It's fun to play. I forgot to mention that you can always use Animate Guardian to boost the damage even further. You know, the classic stuff. Dying Breath, Learcast, and some regeneration, Legacy of Fury, I don't know. Whatever you feel like. But Animate Guardian boosts the damage a little bit more. GG's.